The story or the movie of chapter 1 in history of grade 10, that is the rise of nationalism in Europe during 19th century, begins with a beautiful painting. Children, have you seen the Statue of Liberty? It is one of the most enduring symbols of the United States of America. The reemerging of this Statue of Liberty comes from the circumstances when the basic rights of the common people were denied. This makes the Statue of Liberty a perfect symbol of freedom. The concept of liberty, equality, and fraternity were the touchstone of the French Revolution. This is a famous piece denotes the universal democratic and social republic by French artist named Frédéric Sorrieu. He has visualized an utopian world made of democratic and social republic. Now, the utopian vision is a perfect vision of society that is so ideal that it unlikely to actually exist. If you look carefully, Sorrieu chose people from different countries and all walks of life marching towards the Statue of Liberty. Each of them wearing national costume and carrying revolutionary flag. The countries leading the procession, United States and Switzerland. They are followed by French people carrying revolutionary tricolor. France has just reached to the Statue of Liberty. By this time, revolution has taken place in the France. France is followed by German people with their flag and other countries of the Europe such as Sicily, Lombardy, Poland, England, Ireland and Russia are behind Germany. The symbol in foreground. Foreground means in front and background means backside of the image. The symbol of foreground signifies out the absolutism and monarchy. Absolutism can be defined as a government or a system of rule with lots of uncontrolled power. It is also referred an oppressive monarchical government. Another remarkable part of this paint are angels, priests and Christ, who are looking at these groups of people and represents that they are showing their blessings on them. Sorrieu had used Christ and angels to emphasize fraternity among the nations of the world. During 19th century, Europe was going on the phase of transition. One set terms of peasantry land, aristocracy and the feudal system. On the other hand, rapid industrialization had given birth to the middle class, that consisting of industrialists, businessmen and professionals. In the wake of changes, the educated liberal middle class wanted to overthrow the absolutist ruling. This one said, bringing people together will share past history and culture will give the idea of nation state. Let's see the impact of French Revolution and Napoleonic Code. The French Revolution in 1789. The first clear expression of nationalism came with the French Revolution in 1789. France was full-fledged territorial state in 1789 under the rule of absolute monarch. The political and constitutional changes that came in the wake of French Revolution lead to the transfer of sovereignty from monarchy to the body of France. French Revolution introduced various measures and practices that could create a sense of collective identity amongst the French people, like the idea of la patrie means fatherland and la citoyen means citizen. A new French flag, the tricolor, was chosen to replace the former royal standard. The States General was elected by the body of active citizens and remained the National Assembly. New hymns were composed, oaths taken. Now let's see what was Napoleonic Code of Conduct 1804 or Civil Code of Conduct 1804. The Civil Code of Conduct 1804, usually known as Napoleonic Code, did away with all the privileges based on birth and established equality before law and secured the right to property. This code was exported to the region under French control. A centralized administrative system formulated uniform laws for all the citizens within the territory. Internal custom duties and dues were abolished. A uniform system of weight and measure was adopted. French, as it's spoken and written in Paris, became the common language of the nation and discouraging religious dialects. Let's recall French Revolution once again in this chapter so that we can easily understand the rise of nationalism in Europe. In 1789, as a mark of protest, many educated people and the best people of the France stormed fortress prison, that is Bastille. The major outcome of the revolution was the formation of constitutional monarchy, and the size would reduce of the royal and feudal privileges. The revelatory of the France, like La Patrie means the fatherland and La Citoyenne means the citizen, enjoyed the equal rights under the constitution. Some major steps were taken out by the revolutionaries to develop the feeling of nationalism and collect the France identity for that. A new national flag of France was adopted. The design of the flag represented the pride and the honor of free nation. To evoke nationalism, several hymns and poetries were composed. An oath taken by the active citizen who paid taxes and elected the State General and renamed it as National Assembly. A centralized military system was created. The system used to form common law for all the citizens. All general custom duties and dues were abolished. The uniform system of weight and measure was adopted.
Now children, let us see very interesting topic, the making of nationalism in Europe. How does this happen? As we know, in 18th century, the middle class society people was rising up in entire Europe, and the result was the ideology of liberty and fraternity rised up in entire Europe. So we can see behind making of nationalism in Europe, middle class society rised up with the liberal ideology which has spread across the Europe. And the motto behind this ideology was to end up monarchies and establish the liberal idea of people.
The French Revolution inspired people all over Europe to begin movement against autocracy and despotism. The French revolutionaries also bonded together to help other European countries in their struggle to overcome from autocracy and form a nation. Students and middle class formed Jacobin Club in many of the European countries. Due to this widespread of enthusiasm, the French army was welcomed by European countries such as Poland, Belgium, Switzerland and Italy in 1790s. The era after French Revolution saw the emergence of famous historic personality, a warrior known as Napoleon Bonaparte. Napoleon was a man of great conviction. He is well known for his imperialistic motives and conquest Europe. Napoleon observed the chaotic situation after French Revolution and exploited to the maximum to achieve his imperialistic aspirations. Democracy received was converted into monarchy. On the flip side, he introduced some effective administrative changes. The Civil Code of 1804, introduced by Napoleon, is also known as Napoleonic Code. According to this code, he ended all the privileges by birth which were enjoyed by nobles and clergies because he wanted to bring the concept of equality before law. He secured right to property. The Napoleonic Code was carried to the other countries as well in the Europe, such as Switzerland, Italy, Germany, etc. The feudal system was also abolished under Napoleonic Code. Peasants were freed from serfdom. Under Napoleonic Code, roads were constructed and improvement in transportation was done. Businessmen and traders, they believed that common measuring system of weight and common currency would establish the trade across the Europe. The censorship overshadowed the positive administrative system of Napoleon. During the mid of 18th century, the European countries were not as we know them today. Europe was divided into small kingdoms and the concept of nation state did not existed at all. Some of the autocratic countries in Europe, like Ottoman Empire, that ruled over Eastern and Central Europe, as well as in Greece. On the other hand, the Habsburg Empire that ruled in Austria and Hungary. Due to the cultural differences among European people, there was no political unity and no clear concept for the nation. However, the difference in country background and to design the idea of French Revolution, people led with a common goal, that is nationalism. During 19th century, the landed aristocracy was a small and influential class of Europe in social and political sphere, and they were desperately trying to regain its position. The members of these classes all over the Europe were connected with because of their similar way of life and intermarriages. They owned larger lands in countryside and townhouses. French was common language which was spoken by them. The majority of European population was made up of peasants and serfs. In the Western Europe, most of the land was tilled by tenants and small landowners, while in the Central and Eastern Europe, estates were tilled by serfs. On the other hand, due to the rapid growth of industrialization in 18th century and 19th century, new social groups coexisted in Europe. These were working class population and middle class. Both of these groups depended on market production for their livelihood. The middle class had free liberal mindset. The idea of nationalism lead far gap between autocracy and other social classes. They hoped to end the autocracy rule and wanted a national government of people. The educated middle class of Europe, deeply influenced with the notion of liberty from French Revolution. As a result, the concept of liberalism was born. Liberalism is a word generated from Latin word which means liber, and liber means free. The middle class people believed in a need of freedom and equality of all individuals in front of law. The liberals also supported that private property should not be violated, and they promoted the idea of government of people by adopting right to vote, that is, suffrage was not applicable for all. Liberalism implied freedom of market and free movement of goods and capitals. The Napoleonic Code had tried to facilitate it but not practiced in totality. Let's see why. During 19th century, freedom of movement of goods and capital became popular demand by the emerging middle class. Napoleonic Code reflected its interest and decided that each of the region who had its own weight and measuring system would be now unified. Therefore, in year 1834, custom union or Zollverein was introduced first in Persia and then carried out by the other states of Germany. This union reduced the traffic barriers and reduced the number of currencies from 32 to 2. Apart from this, the railway networks were initiated which enhanced the mobility and communication between the economics. All these growth helped in developing nationalist sentiments.
Now here, another reason when we find that in entire Europe one of the incident took place in year 1815, and that was very remarkable incident. It was Battle of Waterloo. Here children, you need to remember this Battle of Waterloo. The result was that Napoleon was defeated very badly
ideas were bring back in France, and it was widely spread in among the people, so that the idea of liberty was being suppressed. Apart from this, censorship was implemented in both media and public opinion. And one more very important step taken against the idea of Napoleon, that was the philosophy or idea of liberals were overthrown. So these all are the points which comes under the Treaty of Vienna. During 19th century, the upcoming middle class had tasted the idea of liberalism. For them, liberalism means end of aristocracy and clerical privileges. The end of all these demands took place when Napoleon was defeated in the Battle of Waterloo in year 1815, which resulted once again to adopt the idea of conservatism. Let us understand here what is conservatism. It is emphasize more on old tradition, culture and established custom or industries, and preferred gradual development rather than quick change. The established society and institutions were monarchy, church, social hierarchies, property and family must be protected and preserved. During Napoleon's conquest, he annexed several kingdoms and made as a part of France. In 1815, after the defeat in war, that is, Battle of Waterloo, the representatives of European powers, namely Austria, Britain, Prussia and Russia, met at Vienna. This meeting is also known as Treaty of Vienna or Congress of Vienna. The host of this treaty was Austrian Chancellor named Duke Metternich. The result of Treaty of Vienna was that Bourbon family or the dynasty was once again restored and established in the France as a power. Besides this, France lost most of its territory, which prevent the further expansion of France. Like Poland was given to Russia and Austria was given to Italy.
So let's discuss the topic, and the topic is Age of Revolution in Europe, and it was the time period between 1830 to 48. So under this age of revolution, we will see how in different parts of Europe revolution were taking place for their independent nation, and this all came because of the feeling of nationalism which people got inspired from the French Revolution. So let us start the first incident in year 1821 when Greece revolted for its freedom. Or for the declaration of an independent nation. So Greek war took place in year 1821. So soon after 1821, in year 32, Greece got its independence. Greece got its independence and declared as a independence country. And it was happened under the treaty, and that treaty is very popular. It is called as Treaty of Constantinople. So in year 1832, under the Treaty of Constantinople, Greece got its complete independence and declared as an independent.
Revolution of 1830 and 1848, which turned and inspired the revolts of other parts of the Europe. Revolution of 1848, France established a republic and other European nations were inspired to create constitutional monarchies or remove their monarchs from the power completely. Commoners demanded popular sovereignty, voting rights for all men, and social equality. Revolution of 1820, liberals in Spain, Portugal, Italy, and Russia rised up against absolute monarchs. The Borghese and the common people established constitutions that they gave him more right. After the revolution, many monarchs were able to regain the power they lost. Revolution of 1830, France established a constitutional monarchy and trend spread through Europe, including Belgium, Germany, Italy, and Poland. Borghese leaders established censitary voting rights, so wealthy and educated individuals had more voting power than commoners. Age of Revolution, that uprisings in Europe, the period of between 1830 to 1848, lots of tensions and war. Earlier, Europe had witnessed two philosophies. These were liberalism and conservatism. A liberalist or a middle educated class planned to overthrow monarchy and wanted to bring government of the people. This is called the idea of liberalism. Also, Europe saw a series of revolutions in Italy, Germany, Poland, Turkey, and Ireland. In year 1821, a significant event mobilized nationalist feeling among the educated class of Europe. This was the Greece War of Independence. The Greeks struggled against the autocratic Ottoman Muslim Empire and began nationalist movement. After the war, Treaty of Constantinople signed in year 1832. It recognized Greece as an independent nation. In 1815, when Bourbon dynasty was restored in France, then liberalists began a revolution against conservatism. And in year 1830, the Bourbon dynasty once again overthrown. Hence, French Revolution of 1830 is also known as July Revolution. Now, inspired from 1830 July Revolution in France, Belgium broke away from United Nation of Kingdom. Moving toward the age of revolution, we find another topic, and that topic is hunger, hardship, and popular revolt time period. So let us see first of all the hunger hardship. How does this arise the situation? So around 1830s, when we see the complete scenario of Europe, we find that Europe was under the great economic crisis. Under great economic crisis. So how this crisis was taking place? Two reasons were there behind this. One was growth of population, or we may say overpopulation. Another was shortage of food. So these two reasons were there which was faced by entire Europe in the time period of 1830, and that time period is considered as great economic crisis, which made the common people life very hard, and most of them they died due to hunger. So it was the time period of hunger and hardship. Now popular revolt, if we talk about, then in year 1845 a very miserable incident took place. It was the kind of revolt which was fight against by the workers or the weavers against the contractors. So these weavers were from Silesia village, and they fight a war against contractor. Now these weavers were promised by the contractor that their salary will be increased and they will be given very good facilities. Now this contractor cleverly provided huge amount of raw material to them to produce the goods in limited number of time. After hearing the promises of contractor, all the workers day and night they started working and started making the goods and production.
Now, soon after getting the good amount of production, contractor denied and refused to listen about his promises, and all these demands he was unable to fulfill. Thereafter, these weavers started protest against him and his policy. So this was the miserable coincidence which is described in the book. Now, apart from this, in year 1848, moving towards the Germany, when we find that Germany, soon after getting inspired from the French Revolution, and in other part when revolutionary action was taking place against the monarchism, it also inspired. And then in year 1848, Germany also demanded for their constitution. It means now they also want to end up monarchism in France. So in year 1848, this incident took place in France. For that, these people, around 831 representatives, they assembled and started marching towards the St. Frankfurt. And there they decided in front of St. Paul that they need to be assigned some kind of rules and regulations for their country, and it should be in the form of constitution.
Let's conclude in short hunger, hardship and popular revolt time period. It was the great economic crisis or the hardship time during 1830s for the entire Europe. Widespread unemployment, urban congestion, competition from machine-made goods from England, feudal dues, rising of food prices and failing of crop. All these were the hardship time period for the common people. Now, popular revolts in the France in 1848 resulted Louis Philippe to run away from the France. Thereafter, it declared the Republic and then has given the right to vote for the common people above 21. Thereafter, in France, several workshops were created to create new employment opportunity for the unemployed people. In Silesia in 1845, weavers led a revolt against the contractor who was cheating them. They surrounded his house and demanded higher wages. Getting only threat from him, they attacked his house and destroyed his goods.
Now, few more topics like making of Germany, unification of Italy. In unification of Italy, the role of Giuseppe Mazzini, Cavour and Garibaldi, all these, apart from this growth of Great Britain, we are going to enjoy with the help of video and going to understand with the help of few clipping. So let's enjoy.
Unification of Italy. This happened just after the French Revolution, which took place in 1789 and which gave the idea of liberty, equality and fraternity. Further, the large empire was established by the Napoleon Bonaparte, which gave the military idea to the other part of the country. Further, the period of 1815 witnessed the nationalist movement almost every country in the Europe. The aim of nationalists differ across countries. While in some countries, the primary objective was to gain independence. In other, it was to unify a divided nation. Italy and Germany were two such countries where the struggle for unification was strongest. Some countries in Europe were divided into number of states. There was no unity among them. Similarly, Italy was divided into many small principalities. Napoleon's conquest of Italy brought small principalities under a single administration unit. Italy became a part of French Empire and imbibed the ideas of French Revolution. In year 1814 to 15, following the defeat of Napoleon Bonaparte, a great peace conference was held in Vienna, the capital of Austria. The European statements at Congress of Vienna decided to restore Europe to its former position, that is, before the outbreak of French Revolution and Napoleon's conquest. The changes made by Napoleon were set aside, and the old rulers were restored to their throne. Italy was once again divided into numerous small states. The richest and the strongest Italian state was Sardinia, which included Piedmont. The papal state comprising of Rome, central Italy belonged to the Pope. Lombardy, Venetia, Modena, Parma, Tuscany and Austria. The two major obstacles to Italian unification were Austria would not give up the Italian territory that lay within her empire, whereas Pope would not give up the papal state to the Italian nationalist. With the failure of Revolution 1848, the first attempt to unite Italy was failed. Sardinia had tried to lead an all-Italian movement against Austria, which was easily crushed by Austria. Italy at this time had a number of secret societies that wanted to liberate and unify the country. The Carboni was one of such secret societies that aimed liberating Italy through armed uprising. The Carbonaries were, however, suppressed but ruthlessly by the Austrian army. These Carbonaries were established by Giuseppe Mazzini. Giuseppe Mazzini was the member of Carbonari, and in 1831 he formed an organization called Young Italy. Its aim was the independence and unification of Italy and subsequent establishment of republic. The organization encouraged young men to join and support the cause of Italian unification. In 1848, Young Italy organized mass uprising in many parts of the Italy. Due to the lack of coordination and organization, these uprisings were suppressed easily by the Austrian army. The King of Sardinia, Victor Emmanuel, was an enlightened and liberal ruler who appointed Count Cavour as his prime minister. After 1848, Count Cavour, the Prime Minister of Sardinia, took up task of unifying Italy under the leadership of Sardinia. He was a passionate nationalist and one of the greatest statesmen of Italy had ever produced. He devoted all his energies to strengthen the Sardinia and lead to the Italian in their struggle of unity and independence. In 1859, Cavour allied with Napoleon III, the Emperor of France, and went a war with Austria and succeeded. Together, they outset the Austrian and Lombardy, which was then annexed to the Sardinia. Cavour also persuaded Tuscany, Modena, Parma, and Papal State to join Sardinia. A new Italian kingdom was thus formed. Only Venetia, which was still under Austria, the kingdom of Two Sicilies, whose ruler refused to unification plan, and Rome, which was under Pope, remained outside the fold. Garibaldi was an instrumental in the liberation of Two Sicilies. He organized a loyal band of 1,000 brave, patriotic men, dressed in bright red shirt and led by Garibaldi. The 1,000 heroes first liberalized Sicily and then Naples. By the end of 1860, the Two Sicilies have been liberated and united with Sardinia. Later, when Austria was defeated by Prussia, Venetia also joined Italian Union. When Prussia attacked France in 1870, the last barrier to the unification fell. Rome joined to Sardinia, and this completed the process of unification. Nationalism had triumphed in July 1871. Rome became capital of unified Italy, headed by King Victor Emmanuel II. Towards the unification of Germany, situation before unification, in Congress of Vienna, Germany became a confederation of 39 states and small independent states led by Austria. The main one, Prussia and Austria, they were concurrent lead to the confederation. German unification passes through different states between 1864 to 1871. Unification of northern state. Prussia defeated Austria, which was expelled from confederation, now led by Prussia. Towards the unification of Italy, we know the situation before unification. Italy was divided into several states. The top portion of Italy was controlled by Austrian princes. The central portion of Italy was ruled by Pope, whereas the bottom portion was ruled by the Bourbon dynasty of France. The stage of unification of Italy passes between the time period of 1859 to 70. Unification of Great Britain. Unlike the other European unification, this was not the result of nationalist revolt. We know British was consist of four main ethnic regions. These were English, Welsh, Scottish, and Irish. the decision for unification was taken by Britain Parliament. In 1707, through an Act of Union, England took control of Scotland completely, subjugating their identity. In 1801, through another Act of Union, Ireland too was made a part of Kingdom of Great Britain. There was a great effort to impose the symbol of British culture over Scotland and Ireland.
Now moving toward the ending part of the chapter, and the topic is visualizing the nation. So here, as we know, around 18th and 19th century, the entire Europe has the feeling of nationalism and romanticism. So here, romanticism, these play very important role in creating the feeling of love and affection, respect for the nation. Now here, we find that people started personifying the nation. They started giving a kind of figure to the nation. These figure, when we find that when any abstract idea is expressed into anything or a person, that is called as allegory. So in this way, idea of visualization tells that nation is being given the figure of personification, and which is named as allegory. So here, two popular allegory which is used for the Germany was Marine and Germania.
Visualizing the nation. While it is easy enough to represent a ruler through a portrait or a statue, how does one go about giving a face to a nation? Artists in 18th and 19th century found a way out of personifying a nation. In other words, they represented a country as if it were a person. Nation were then portrayed as female figure. The female form that was chosen to personify the nation did not stand for any particular woman in real life. Rather, it sought to give an abstract idea of nation to a concrete form. That is, the female figure became an allegory of the nation. During French Revolution, artists used female allegory to portray idea of liberty, justice, and republic. The attribute of liberty are the red cap or broken chain, while justice is generally blindfolded woman carrying a pair of weighing scale. Similar female allegory were invented by the artists of 19th century to represent the nation. In France, she was cherished Marine and popular Christian name, which was underlined the idea of the people's nation. Her characteristics were drawn for those of liberty and the republic. The red cap, tricolor, and cockade statue Marine was erected in public square to remind the public of national symbol of unity, and to pursue them the identity with its Marine image were marked on coins and stamps. Similarly, Germania became allegory of German nation. In visual representation, Germania wear crown of oak leaf as German oak stands for heroism. It's time to do some questionnaire. First question is, what were the important provisions of Civil Code of 1804? Abolished privileges by birth, equality before law, introduction of democracy, or both A and B. Next question is, when was custom union or sovereign introduced? Options are 1843, 1838, 1834, or 1847. When did Napoleon got defeated in Battle of Waterloo? Year 1816, 1813, 1814, or 1815. Who among the following formed secret society called Young Italy? Otto von Bismarck, Giuseppe Mazzini, Metternich, John Gutenberg Herder. Next question is, the treaty which recognized Greece as an independent nation was Treaty of Vienna 1815, Treaty of Constantinople 1832, Treaty of Warsaw 1814, or Treaty of Leipzig 1813. Who played leading role in the unification of Germany? German Emperor formerly King of Prussia, Kaiser William I, or second option, Otto von Bismarck, Persian Chief Minister. Third option, John Gottfried Herder, German philosopher, or the last option, Austrian Chancellor Duke Metternich. What does Saint, Angel, and Christ symbolize in the utopian vision of Frederick Sorio? It shows equality among the people, fraternity among the nation, freedom of the nation, or democracy in the nation. Next question is, the Civil Code of 1804 in France is usually known as the French Revolution Code, Napoleonic Code, European Imperial Code, or the French Civilian Code. The Napoleonic Code was adapted to which of the following regions? England, Spain, regions under French control, or Poland? Answer all these questions in comment. Thank you for watching.